Helene Hadsell could arguably be proclaimed the law of attraction greatest practitioner of all time. In her lifetime, she won countless contests, sweepstakes, lotteries, and more, so much more. Regardless of any adversity, competition or odds, she believed that the only competition she ever had was with herself. She started her journey after reading the best-selling book by Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. She read in this book that you can get anything you want, provided you know what it is and see yourself as already having it. Excited by that prospect, she asked her husband, who was sitting nearby and reading a newspaper, what would he like to have? He pointed out that the newspaper, there was a Coca-Cola contest. The first prize was an outboard motor, which is something he had yearned for. She started visualizing her husband on a boat with the motor. She visualized him fishing, and after some time she finally came upon this. I'm a lone fisherman and cokes are my silent partners. They contribute no yakety yak, only enjoyment when called upon. After mailing it off, she said to her husband, I wonder how long it's going to take to let us know we won. 2 weeks later, Ellen is on the phone with the representative, and he tells her she won. Another time, she wanted to win a contest that allowed her to go on a trip to Paris with her husband. She was about to turn 40. She had read that Paris was a city of light, love, and excitement. She started imagining herself spending her 40th birthday in Paris. She said she wanted to be in Paris, France, sitting at a sidewalk cafe with her husband, drinking wine. She started entering only contests that were offering trips. The 25 words she wrote for those contests were always the same. I'm a pooped couple with 3 kiddos, and I'd like to go to Paris, France, to recapture the rapture of springtime ecstasy in my fat 40 frustrated years. She won 3rd place in a contest that had a trip to Paris as the current prize, but she did not win the trip to Paris. After that, she won tickets to Venice, but she told the person in charge that she wanted to go to Paris. The first-class tickets were changed to Paris, and shortly after, Ellen and Paf, her husband, left for France, and she was there on her 40th birthday in a cafe on a sidewalk drinking wine with her beloved husband, just as she had visualized. At one point in her life, Ellen wanted to meet Art Linkletter, who was at that time a popular TV show host. She was in line waiting to get in the studio where Art Linkletter's show was filmed, but she happened to be one of the last people in the queue. Only a certain number of people were allowed because there was only so much room. The young man in charge of the seat allocation closed the door and said that there was no more seats for that show. He started giving tickets for another show to the people left out of the show, which included Ellen. She told the young man that she did not want to go to another show. She wanted to meet Art. He said he was sorry, closed the door, and all the other people went to the other studio. And Len did not move, did not yield, did not budge. She stayed put. 10 minutes later, the young man came out again and was surprised to see her still waiting. He asked her, "Are you still here?" She responded saying, "Well, I'm here to see Art Linkletter." He told her to wait, and he checked if there were any other seats available. He found one seat, but it was way up in the balcony. He directed her up and she said. All of a sudden, Art Linkletter came out and said, "Today is our Christmas show and somebody in the audience is going to win a fabulous prize." He started looking around and said hi to a few people. After he walked around and passed a bunch of men and women, he stopped on Ellen and asked her, "Do I know you?" She said, "No, I've never been here." "Are you sure?" asked Art Linkletter. She answered by saying that she had never been here before. Art took her hand and told her, "Well, you are the one who is going to win the grand prize." He took her hand and gave her a USD 1500 Le Coutre diamond watch. After that, she kept watching the show. During the break, Art Linkletter kept looking at Ellen and asked her again, "Don't I know you?" She did not have the heart to tell her that the night before she was sitting on her chair and said to herself, "Art Linkletter, when you see me, you'll know me and I'm going to be on your show." She got it. She got the trip, the boat, the meeting with Art Linkletter, and more, so much more. The method she used is called SPEC. Selected. Ellen knew what she wanted to have for her 40th birthday. She wanted to be in Paris, and she was very precise about the location, who she would want to be with, and what she would be doing, and when she would be there. When she wanted the outboard motor for her husband, she visualized him being happy, fishing in his boat with the outboard motor. Expected. Ellen won the third prize in the contest, but she did not win the trip to Paris, which is what she wanted to begin with. She said that there is no failure, only delay in results. She waited and finally got her trip to Paris. Collected. Once all three steps were done, Ellen had little more to do but to collect. She would put herself in the situation where the manifestation was just at arm's length. When she wanted to meet Art Linkletter, there was no more seats available, but she stayed and did not budge. She waited and she collected.